Now I'm going to pull the rest of this log off of the deck because the back half of this log is actually pretty clear. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to lay all those flitches I just cut up on the edge and cut them off at probably 12.5, maybe a little fatter. There'll definitely be some shrinkage. I'll make my dimensional boards and we'll do a mock-up panel. Alright, well, I've set myself up a little workstation here out in front of my shop. I'm going to cut up some 2x4s that I milled a few months ago, I think, and build a mock-up wall with the cedar that I milled. Now, because this is just a mock-up, I'm going 2 foot on center with those studs. This will all have to come apart and be redone once I go to finish the inside of my shop, but this will give me an idea of how it's going to look and if I like it or not. All right, well, if I'm able to pick this wall up and stand it up and my measurements are right, we'll be in business. This is wet lumber. For sure. Jackpot. Now, I talked about it in my last video, but it might be easier to visualize now. I have 1.5" foam board that's going to go in between the purlins, fill up that gap, and then in between the studs, once I do a final wall with 16" on center placement, I'll put fiberglass insulation between. I got to do some research. Maybe some of you know, I'm thinking about vapor barrier over the purlins and the foam board to separate that from the fiberglass insulation. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if that metal will sweat with all that insulation or not. If you guys know, please leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm gonna look it up online and see what I can find out. All right, time to get the cedar ready. Now, I've had the cedar stickered here for about a week. It's obviously not completely dry, but it has dried a bit. I actually did run my kerosene heater on it for a while. Again, it's probably still gonna shrink a little bit. For my mock-up, not a big deal. The boards are gonna come, it's all coming apart, so I just wanna see how it's gonna look and maybe use it as a backdrop for a while until I can actually finish out the inside of my shop. Now I'm gonna cut these cedar boards to length and stain them as I put them up. I really wanna see how it looks as a wall with stain on it to make sure that that's the route I wanna go. Now I'm using a stain called Sunfrog Cedar Tone, which has been my go-to stain for literally decades. I've used this stuff on fences and decks, and it really brings out the color of the cedar. But this gallon I just bought was $54. When she rang it up and told me the price, I thought she saw 5 jugs and not just one. So yeah, this stuff is doubled in price. Oh, made with real gold. Okay, well, that explains it. Well guys, I don't think that looks too bad. I've got some black stain and I'm thinking about trimming out the posts with a black stained cedar. I think that might finish it off real nice. I don't want to get too carried away though, because it's all going to come down. So for now, I think that looks pretty good, and that'll probably be my backdrop until I can get this shop finished. Well, that was a pretty fun little project, guys, and I appreciate you hanging out with me while I did it. Stick around, guys. I'm going to be lighting my shop with 9 of these 200-watt lights. I'm looking forward to that. And I got a lot of stuff coming up after that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cut.